Hey everybody, welcome to Open for Business. Oh my gosh, I got another RGA star coming on tonight with me. I know we had Mark on last week, but this week we're going to have Matthew Coots coming in. Matthew, I've never called you Matthew. Let's bring him on. I've never called you Matthew, right? I've always called you Matt. Right, but it's like Matthew Coots. Now, I had a string. This is the first time I had a string of stuff that people do that wouldn't fit. So we had to kind of break some stuff down too. But you, dude, you carry a heavy workload for RGA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hold on. First things first, tell everybody what RGA is before. I know if they watched the show last week, they know it from Mark. Let you tell everybody your perception of RGA.
Absolutely. So RGA stands for Revenue Generating Activities. And RGA Network is a small business community, really. We provide tools, resources, and opportunities for small business professionals, entrepreneurs to grow and expand their resources, their connections, and to build their community. One of the things that I would say is, RGA is a little bit different than we work on a different operating model. You could say a different framework than a lot of the other network organizations that are out there, and that's because we are not seat specific, whereas many of the other organizations, all of the other organizations, really are. And because of that, we work extremely well with chambers of commerce, other organizations, and we're very collaborative. So
Right.
we try to provide tools and resources to help businesses grow. And if they feel like our community is providing support, then fantastic, join us.
And at how many meetings are we up to right now? And I still say we because I still feel like I'm a part of RGA. So hopefully we'll get one in Chattanooga soon, and I can go to meetings and be John again.
Yeah, no, I think we're looking at actually putting 3 up in that area.
Nice.
So we'll have to stay tuned for that one. But we're over 20. It kind of fluctuates a little bit. Every week is a little bit different because we don't have all of our meetings every single week. For instance, we have a trades group that meets every other week, the second and fourth weeks. So, and we're open to those kind of creative opportunities where a lot of these other more rigid organizations, they specifically do things at a set time. You have to be there. There's all these rules. They all apply.
Yep.
If you don't work on those rules, if those don't operate well for you, then you're out. So we sometimes get called the adult networking group because the reality is that we're all busy professionals. We've all got crazy things going on, hopefully.
Right.
And that's the goal. The point is not to restrict our ability to do business. It's to increase our ability, improve our ability to do business. So.
I do like the fact that we're not seat specific. That's kind of a big deal for me because, and you would think, well, see, this is what you're taught in other networking groups is that, you can't have more than one because no one can get along and everybody's out.
Right.
Well, first of all, I don't care if you're in a city of 500 or a city of 5 million. Not one person in any one industry can handle everybody's work. It's just impossible. So with I liked it when I walked in and there's other videographers. So I'm like, great, because you do the work I don't do. I don't do that stuff. I don't want to chase that work. And then we start collaborating, going, oh, you know what? You do this. I've got a client for you, and and it works that way. Yeah. It really does.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how you get infected with that mentality of collaboration versus competition.
Right.
When you start finding ways to network and find win-wins versus just you win, it opens up a whole other world for you. That's
exactly. But anyway, I digress. So tell me what's new and what's going on with RGA because it's been a year. Actually, it's been almost a year since I've seen you guys.
Yeah. Well, we saw you at the expo. So
the expo was awesome.
We're about 9 months out, and I'd say we're just in the process now of. And I do wear a lot of hats. Looking down on my third.
We had to cut some of that, bro. It wouldn't fit. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, we've got a bunch of really exciting things going on. One of which, just to kind of tease this, is we're in the process of putting together a business reality show that will be streaming onto YouTube and a bunch of other internet media. Maybe if I can even poke this
Area
guy no,
52.
named John a little bit, he can find a time to put it on one of his many channels
I think
and
we
get
can
us
do
even some
that.
more
I'm
traction.
pretty
I mean,
sure we can do
I hear
that.
he's always looking for really good content.
I
So,
am looking for great content. Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, that's exciting. We also have the 2025 RGA Business Expo, which will be the 15th annual Business
Yeah.
Expo. So that's always huge. Some really big things coming this year with that. We've got some partnerships that we're looking to announce in the near future. Um, hey, listen, you miss a week, you miss a lot in RGA.
You
So,
do. Absolutely. So, my question to you, are we about to outgrow Ruth Eckerd Hall?
so we've been about to for the last 2 years.
I was gonna say
So we've
last
been
year we were stuffed like freaking cannolis.
we're probably going to, we're doing it this year. I could see it being one more year possibly, just depending, but
Right.
um, the growth is definitely, as this event has gotten bigger, more defined, a clearer mission, more partners involved, it's really become something of its own beast.
Yep.
Last year we had over 1,000 people come through. We had 70 plus vendors, sponsors, community partners that were able to join us. Obviously, you were one of them. We recorded a bunch of interviews with a bunch of the different sponsors and vendors and partners that were able to be there. So we're really turning it into not just a business expo,
Right.
not just a networking event, but also now it's something where you can come to promote your business at
Right.
this forum. And so it's really interesting to see how it's grown over the last few years and how it's going to continue to grow. I know we're making a lot of changes behind the scenes on the technology this year to make the sign-in process smoother, to enhance the communication with guests, and to make the whole experience better. So
That's awesome. So can we circle back real quick? Because you said something, Mark. I think Mark glossed over it because we were trying to fit so much in last week. Um, I did not know about the trades meeting.
yeah,
So let's go over that. I think let's just explain everybody at home what the trades really truly mean.
yeah. So like many of the programs that we've developed, they all started because there was some communication from the different members saying that they wanted to do something, they wanted to give something a try. Usually, what happens is somebody wants to take leadership of the project, so we begin talking about what that would actually look like, how things would actually work, and then we start to logistically put it into place. One of the big things is that I insist on is making sure that everything that we do, everything that we put out there, is something that's scalable.
Mm,
uh, we don't want to do just a one-off situation. We want something that's situationally, of course, scalable. So for the Orlando or for the Tampa region, um, there was quite a few members in the trades, and they said, "Hey, we would love to have a meeting where we can come together, just us tradespeople, and really share resources, figure out how to work more effectively." And this gave me so that's how it started. Then we figured out that the right rhythm, the right cadence for the meeting. It wasn't an every week meeting. It was an every twice a month type of meeting. Um, and it's been growing quite consistently. I think we've had the trades meeting now. I want to say we're probably approaching 2 years.
so
So
for the people at home, what do you guys are considering trades?
so trades, construction, really
Okay,
anything in construction, like home services type trades. We've got interior
carpenters,
design people,
tile,
we've got carpentry, we've got tile, we've got glass, we've got all
electric,
all of these.
AC.
We've got lighting,
Okay,
we've got like all of these.
yep,
And this is something where they can come to, especially here in Florida. oftentimes it's hard to get a contractor out. They're just
Oh,
overwhelmed with
yeah,
business.
they're
So,
slam busy.
so once you come together and you're a trusted part of the group, when somebody is just completely overwhelmed with business, maybe from like a hurricane coming through, or maybe
Mm,
from two hurricanes coming through back to back to back, as a community, we're able to pull together, and those resources are able to help all of us
right.
um, work better. And this actually gave me another idea just recently, which I guess I can tease it out there. Something that is called RGA teams,
Huh.
and it's
Okay.
going to be so we'll have small groups, small teams that come together to really inside of a framework to really work more closely together. Even if they go to different meetings routinely or anything like that, we're going to create a mechanism for these teams to come together and be a tighter knit group of individuals.
Right. Almost like a small leadership, just kind of make sure everything's being done correctly.
Yeah, a little bit of a framework and
Yeah.
communication. Yeah, exactly.
So how big of an area now are you covering in the Tampa Bay area? Are you like all 9 counties?
So we are all the way from Sarasota up to Trinity and all the way
Okay.
over to Lakeland.
Lakeland.
So
Okay.
yeah,
And
so it's
soon to
good.
be Georgia, Tennessee.
Soon to be Georgia. There's
Well,
also some stuff going on in South Florida.
nice.
And there's some stuff that's potentially going over in Orlando. For me, it's really about I want to make sure that when we bring in these islands,
Mm,
that we are supporting them adequately. The Georgia membership isn't going to be able to come down to Florida all that often. They will here and there, right? But they're
right.
not going to be able to come down all that often.
In
So
July. They
how do
got to
we do a
come
better
down for
job of
July.
supporting them, right?
Right.
How do we do a better job of supporting them? One way is making sure that when they find venues, that we are able to live stream into those venues for speakers,
Right.
right? Another way would be those to enabling those people, those members that are in those smaller circles and communities, to come down virtually to different the Florida market to share their stories and about their businesses. So everything is about exposure and promotion.
Right.
And if we can just arrange it so that we're able to work in all of these different areas virtually, it's going to be a fantastic time. And they won't feel quite so alone, with 20 members versus 500-600
Right.
down here.
So, okay, so let's explain to people, because there's people, I've been talking to several folks up here going, well, it's coming, it's good, it's different, it's not the same, it's not like the three acronyms that none of us like.
There's
It's
so many
getting,
of them.
yeah. So, I mean, it's just different. Like I was telling Mark, I went to a realtor thing and I was talking to this guy and he goes, well, I've got this new idea for we're not going to call it a networking group. We're going to call it a marketing group or something like that. And I said, okay. He goes, yeah, and everybody can be everything. And all I'm like, okay. And then he kept going on and on. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's called RGA. He goes, what's RGA? So I explained to him RGA, right? And then he was going on and on. And then he wouldn't shut up. I'm like, yeah. So I had to go, dude, I'm walking away from you because the one thing that I learned in RGA is you can't go in and puke on everybody about what you do.
Yeah.
You really can't. I said, you're probably an awesome dude and good luck to you and blah, blah, blah. But I got to walk away because I turned you off like 2 minutes ago. He
Yep.
just kind of looked at me like, well, that's a little honesty I've never heard before. And then I walked away. And then what happened? By the end of the night, the dude was chasing me down. I want you to be a part of my thing. I think what you were doing is really good. I said, you know what? I'm going to put you in front of into the development for RGA, and you need to talk to them because what you're trying to do, we're already doing in Florida. And I said, I know we got some coming up to the Chattanooga area, but there's nothing saying we can't do one more. So he actually may be giving you a call.
Okay.
It's
Perfect.
literally RGA. And he
Yeah.
told me everything. So I started going, yeah, you need to have moms. What are moms? Well, meeting out of meetings. And then I did the dads, and then I started the other. He's like, "Those are great. Can I use those?" I'm like, "No, that's RGA." It's like, no, dude. But anyway,
There's
tell
there's a
tell
certain percentage of people
yeah,
that no matter what you say will always try to reinvent the wheel.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We love
No,
the entrepreneurial spirit.
no.
I love the entrepreneurial spirit. If you want to do your own thing, go do your own thing. But what I can tell you from, really having been in a large part of the driver's seat for the last few years with RGA is that it is not as easy as you think.
Oh no.
There is so much going on.
Yep.
There's so many different things, and if you want to do anything big, for instance, our authoring program, our expo, this reality TV show for entrepreneurs, if we end up knocking this out of the park, if you want to do anything big, it requires not just more resources but more time, more community to be able to contribute. Um, and so there's a certain point where it hits a critical mass. Now, thankfully, Mark hit that point a long time ago, and that's why we've survived 15 years despite hurricanes every year and all the other craziness that happens in Tampa that shuts us down.
COVID.
Uh, yeah, all the things. Survived pandemics, survived hurricanes, oil spills, all the things, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, but our doors are always open, and we're more than happy to add different areas into our footprint for sure.
And the,
You just
the
have
one
to you just have to come in and be prepared to work, because it's not we do more marketing for our meetings individually than any other organization I've seen.
you do.
Everybody else relies on the members to bring guests. They
Yeah.
track that and then they enforce it. If you don't bring those guests, you're in trouble. You're
Right.
getting hit with penalties. You're getting kicked out of the group. All the things. At RGA, we don't do that. We do a lot more marketing and advertising for each of our chapters than anyone else. But our members are also needed to do that, and
Right.
our leadership in particular is needed to co-market that event. So, from that standpoint, if you're new and you're opening up a new territory, a lot of people in Tampa have heard about RGA. They understand the concept. They understand what we do. They understand our mission. But when we're marketing in Tampa Bay, it's almost like we're just trying to re-engage awareness and say,
Right.
hey, if you're in the area, come by, and pull them back into the ecosystem. But if you're in a brand new space, it's twice as difficult, because if we just put out a thing, nobody's going to know what it is.
Right.
So you need to be out there in the community and bringing people in to experience it. So I don't want to turn anyone off from doing it. Just don't come in and think, oh, well, if you build it, they will come. You got to build it first.
Yeah.
So
tell everybody at home that's watching what it takes to become a member of RGA, because it's you don't just walk in and go, oh, I'm part of it now. It
yeah.
doesn't work that way.
I'll say two things. One, RGA is not a leads organization. We are a community organization. We are a relationship organization, and that's when you get the referrals. I can't tell you how many times I've in the past been in these other networking organizations, and I've gotten a lead, and I call the person. They're like, "Oh, I never told them to do that. I never said call me." Or it's their aunt. It's like, oh, okay, great. So you gave me nonsense just to hit your quota. Okay, great. I get it. I understand. In RGA, we don't force that. It's all you will get out of RGA what you put into RGA.
Correct.
And that goes for the commitment as well, right? So there is a membership commitment, a fee for joining. It's the annual due. Right now it's $497.99, just under $500. It's a tax write-off. It's not that much money, and that's kind of the minimum barrier of entry. And the reality is that as a small business owner, you need more than just an RGA. We're very big on you need 3 pillars to grow your business. You need an RGA type organization. You need a chamber, a local anchoring type organization in your community, right? And then you need some sort of external marketing that you have direct control over. I don't care if that's door knocking, doing mailers, doing internet ads and getting leads from those, whatever it is. But now if you do all 3 of those, because your business is going to ebb and flow. And as you ebb and flow, one of those pillars may react or may be better in one part of the year or in one area than the other. So if you have all three operating simultaneously, then you're going to have a strong basis for growth and for lead generation in your business. So RGA is a huge piece of what can be considered your marketing plan. But at the same time, if you are coming into RGA and you are only expecting to run your business off of RGA, then you're just pulling from the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
You're not meeting people other ways. You're
Right.
just pulling from, you're just taking from the ecosystem. We really want to build the ecosystem. We want you to contribute to the ecosystem because that may work initially, but how you're going to have long-term success in RGA is not by getting, it's by giving. And the more you give, the more of your experiences you give, the more of your contacts you give, the more support you give to other people in your groups,
Right.
the more they will respond. And it's not a one-to-one, it's a multiplier. So how to be successful in RGA? Show up, commit, join, become a member, and then consistently show up to the meetings, build relationships, and give whatever you can, whether that's connections, whether that's guests, whether that's experience and knowledge, help in somebody's business if they're running an event. However you give, build those relationships and make sure they're deeper than surface level.
Right. Now, so there's more to RGA than just the meetings, though. We have the university, right?
Yeah,
Let's talk
absolutely.
about that real quick.
Yeah. So education is a huge piece of RGA. We created something called RGA Speaks, which is like a live event, kind of like a TED Talks type situation. We bring in speakers, sometimes inside from RGA, members with specific skills and authority in some area, for example, like digital marketing or something like that. We'll bring a number of members together to do that RGA Speaks on that specific topic. We record that and then we put that into our private Facebook group right now in the form of different guides in that group. So so we have an educational event. We have an educational process. We're actually in the process of teaming up with one of our stronger educational members, and we were already partnered with St. Leo University, which is a college here in Tampa. So we're in the process of pulling in these different pieces, educational components, to really not just map out what we want to create, but really start pumping out some serious content. Because it's just like the three pillars, right, that I just spoke about for your marketing and your business. If somebody doesn't directly come out and say, "Hey, you need more than just RGA. You need to do more than just take from RGA. You need to put more into it, because then it's a multiplier and you get more out. It's not one to one; it's one to many." So from that standpoint, we need to make sure that we're educating our members, not just about how to be effective in RGA, effective in their business. We want to make sure that we're giving them the tools and resources to act on that education too. So we're developing some relationships on that front as well to be able to give more tools, more resources. So you combine RGA is really the summation of a few things: networking and promotional opportunities, education, tools and resources. Combine all of that together, and that's what RGA offers, or RGA membership offers.
And you also have the RGA Gives Back side.
Yes. So now we just started this a few months ago. It's called RGA Cares, and it was in direct response to the hurricanes. This is something that I've been trying to get off the ground for, I want to say, 2 years. It just never got the traction that it needed, and now it's starting to get some traction. We're putting some serious plans together. It's like I said at our networking awards in January. We will have another hurricane come through Tampa. We will have friends in other places who are hit by floods, storms, tornadoes, right? We will have these things happen. And we want to be in a situation where, as a community, we already have those resources ready and we can respond to that need. Maybe, listen, we're not going to be able to make anyone whole per se,
right?
But we want to be able to contribute and give back to our communities, especially our members. So it's called RGA Cares. There's going to be more information about that. We also send out a weekly email every Monday. So if you've been to a meeting, if you've signed up for a meeting, if you want to sign up, get more information, we send that email out to thousands of people every single Monday. And we have like a massive open response. We have like a 60% open response on most of our Monday emails. So people look at it.
Yes, they do. And I'll tell you how much I know that RGA cares. I was a member for a while, or actually for a long time, and I'm hoping I get this out in enough time. So we were doing a RGA Speaks. It was pouring down rain outside. We were loading out and we fell. When I fell, right? And I broke the machine to the point where I had to completely rebuild it. Mark literally reached out how much, stroked a check to help me rebuild that. Said I didn't even ask. He's got a big old heart, right? So that and I think Matt was like, don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. But so that shows me right there
I think I
without
was
even,
with him in the car, and I said, "Make sure you call him right now because, you for John, you're a perfect example. You give a great deal to the communities that you interact with, and RGA is just one of those, and we're incredibly grateful. But when you are coming and doing things like RGA Speaks for us, or you're driving all the way to the expo, and then you happen to just be having a crappy day, and something happens and it slips, and this is your livelihood that we're talking about. Now,
yeah,
maybe maybe you didn't need the cash, whatever. And I know you're going to build it on your own. It's not going to be like you're buying some rig from someplace and it's crazy expensive. We just wanted to be we just wanted to contribute because you were contributing to us,
and
and
that's how
we just wanted to do.
unfortunately, I got to cut you off. And I appreciate you saying that, but I love RGA. I love you. I love Mark. Mark's like one of my best friends in the whole wide world. I really do. I miss him. Everybody, we'll see everybody next week on Open for Business. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it, buddy.